Beerzerker! Alright, here drinking with my favoriteest fucking robot, R2D2. Alright, so we're drinking Renaissance Brewing Company's Elemental Porter Ale. A dark, rich, and mellow balance of hops and roasted malts. It's 5.7%, comes in one hell of a kick-ass solid bottle. I did the MPA, I drank it. And I had my camera on time-lapse delay because I was fucking around with shit. And I forgot to reset that. So I'm just going to top this one up here. I'm just taking my time with it. It's a nice porter, whatever. So, off the aroma, you're getting prunes, raisins, heavy dark beer flavors that I like from time to time. And it's just like, for some reason, I picked up all these beers and they got all that pruny, heavy maltiness, which is good, but sometimes I just want something different. Like, well, not different. I just don't want to drink like 7 heavy malty beers in a row. Anyway, 5.7. I drank the MPA. I promised a review on that one. I don't know if I can find that anymore. So I'm just gonna kind of run that one down a little bit while we do this one. So. I apologize for my incompetence. And, I don't know. I fucked up. So you get heavy, kind of pruny things you get out of like these dark malty beers. It's extremely dry, extremely watery mouthfeel. Like this is like a incredible dry stout kind of body going on here. Very fluid, very, very water-like. And then there's just that heavy malty flavor, kind of like sherry. You get that flavor out of sherry. I usually call it pruny or raisiny, but this one's a little bit more on the prune side. You can also get that flavor out of mead and stuff sometimes. When you brew in mead, it kind of like comes out that way a little bit. There's not a whole lot going on here. It's just a lot of real dark cocoa, basically. And then maybe a little bit of raspberry like type flavors along with that pruniness. A little bit in the background. I'm kind of associating this with like cherry whiskey, brandy maybe. Brandy if it was mixed with something, because I think brandy alone is pretty awful shit. But incredibly dry, and this head's going to dissipate. I mean, there's not a whole lot. It looks pretty nice right now, but it should disappear by the bottom of this glass for sure. But it is very creamy head. What is there? I mean, you're just talking about like not even half a finger a head or whatever. Sheet lacing though, kind of nice. Yeah, and that fruitiness, that maltiness right in the middle, finishes clean and wet. And then it kind of comes back, and you're picking up a fair bit of alcohol out of this at 5.7%. So, back to the MPA, the Marlborough Pale Ale, the IPA from these guys, Renaissance, was pretty good. Basically, they use the Rauco or Roco or whatever hop that their New Zealand hop they're talking about, which was kind of a bit interesting to try that one. It wasn't at all what I expected. I was expecting something like some bombastic orange shit, like orange flavors or pineapple or peach or grapefruit or some kind of hybrid New Zealand wild ass shit, and it wasn't at all that. It was a planty kind of almost reverting back to Saaz mixed with some English style hop with maybe a little bit of peach and a little bit of fruit in it. It wasn't at all vamped forward, unless it was a bit old, possibly. But it wasn't. It was almost like a reversion back to like a older generation type hops from Europe, rather than what we're seeing out of American hops and stuff. So, yeah, that was interesting, and it's very turbid. I mean, these guys' beer is very authentic, very rugged, very old fashioned tasting, and I think that's what if you're looking for a very old-fashioned, authentic, rugged beer, these guys are bringing it. I mean, they're bringing it. And that's what this shit is. Also, if you've ever had the brew Little Creatures from Australia, it was very similar. Little Creatures Pale Ale was very similar to that MPA from Renaissance here. Very turbid, unfiltered, rugged, kind of shit beer. Not shit beer, but rugged shit. That's what I mean. Like, it was definitely good. Little Creatures was good too. It just was extra rugged and extra raw. So I mean, it's kind of like a Belgian beer from Belgium. Very old fashioned, very rugged. With all that, and I'm assuming that this is not. So this one was not bottle conditioned or anything, because not too many porters are that I know of. So we're still getting sheet lacing, but the head's pretty much gone. It's very creamy, very watery. And it's just this, like I'm talking about, the old-fashioned kind of feel to the beer, the very authentic feel of the beer. That's what these guys are bringing. So for that, I might have to give them a little. That's why I give them extra props on that. Very, I don't know what you, boutique or whatever. They're bringing a serious old fashioned vibe with their beers. So yeah, and I'm not a real big authority on porter. I know they can come in a range of colors and different things. Generally, the ones I've had have been much more well-rounded, more full tasting, a little bit more heavier in the chocolate and stuff, a heavier body, bigger, thicker head. Although this is, like, if you look at the lacing, it's beautiful sized bubbles and everything. I love that kind of head, but there's not much of it. I mean, it is pretty much bare on top now, but that's great. Not everyone brews the same shit. As for color, it's quite dark. See a little bit through the bottom. But yeah, anyway. This is going to be a hard one to rate, I'll tell you that now. I'm going to have to go high on it because it's so... now that I'm getting down into the second glass here or whatever, it's very, very satisfying. And nothing like an old world tasting beer, It's just it's a special thing. So, yeah, we'll 9 it out of 11, no problem. And it's maybe not my favorite porter of all time, but it's actually starting to grow on me a whole lot. And I think they did an excellent job, and I do suggest trying their brews. And maybe 9's a little bit low. Maybe I'll have to 10 it. I'm going to 10 it out of 11. Fuck it. 10 out of 11, because this is super old-fashioned, rugged, fucking rocky, nasty, fucking gritty, mossy shit. And that's what we want sometimes, is an authentic, fucking mossy, fucking dungeon-ass beer you found in the fucking cellar. Beerzerker, and I'm out.